Bernacious in his career.
Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche podcast. We got AJ and Rudo coming to you live on a Monday. Should be a fun show here. We'll talk some overtime. We'll talk some shootouts. We'll talk some other angles too. Did want to start out though with the supporters club that you just saw there. This is something I'm super excited about. You can support us, first of all, if you want to become a YouTube member. Highly recommend you jump on that. And there you go. We already got members signing up. Yeah, you'll get a little bit of extra content here on YouTube for members only, but honestly, the coolest part is you get a little badge in chat, and, you know, you'll get emotes, which I'm hyped for the watch-alongs that are coming our way. You can spam things like Dr. Dubs. We'll get other emotes as well. It should be fun all the way around.
We are still figuring out how to get them to really appear on our stream. Because they don't come in our normal chat, but we will figure it out by season.
I mean, for watch-alongs, it'll be fine. It's not hard to see. We just need to get 7 Twitch TV, but for YouTube. That's all. That's all it's got to work. Either way, should be a fun time. I'm super looking forward to that. I can't wait to see the chat full of spammed emotes, like a good Stick Lecky emote or something. It'll be fun, one way or another. Anyway, yeah, I don't think that one's gonna make it as an emote, but you know, we'll have some good ones. In today's episode, we are going to, I don't know. We're going to talk about the alumni game first in a second, but I wanted to ask you one question, AJ. How much do we actually care about regular season overtimes and shootouts?
A lot.
Okay.
I mean, unfortunately, you know, I like 3v3 and shootouts. I know that you hate them.
3v3 is tolerable.
I mean, the reality is, the thing that both of us have to admit is that they're very important. The Avs are going to be in a dogfight in their division this year if they want to try to win that and get home ice and not have to go through Dallas or through Winnipeg. You know, not trying to go into somebody else's barn in game one all the time. And so that makes that increases the importance of 3v3 and overtime and shootouts quite a bit, because those extra points are really important. That's the difference in, you know, every year we look and we see, oh, this is a team that they've got 9 overtime losses. Those are games that they lost, but they still have 4.5 wins worth of points from them.
Right.
You know, like it's a really big thing. We talk about it on you know, when a team goes on a 4-game road trip, they go 2-2. You feel okay about it, but they go 2-0-2. They lost the same number of games, but they picked up 6 of a possible 8 points. It's basically the same as winning 3 games.
Yeah.
So they are really, really important. It is an important thing to be good at. I would say it's really an important thing to not be awful at.
Sure.
Because you're just leaving points out there, and 3v3 / shootout, very coin flippy. In that the face-off is super important, and face-offs are the best face-off guys are 60%, the worst face-off guys are 40%. So you're just a shade over a coin flip right there. That's possession, and then who knows what happens from there. So then you get into shootouts, and who knows?
Hey, shout out to the new members, Angel and Denver, both just becoming members. We appreciate you. I do want to get back to that. I think there's a lot of good conversations over time that we can get to, but I did want to get to the news first. Obviously, yesterday there was the Avalanche alumni game. Awesome event. I think this is we live in an Avalanche world where the burgundy and white game no longer exists. The Avs don't really have that event to like kick off the season in some ways. And I know, rookie camp is still a couple weeks away and all of that, but I do think an alumni event helps fill that gap a little bit. It feels like something that you can cling on to a little bit of Avalanche hockey that happens. If they can continue to do this in the future, I think it'll be super awesome. The event itself was great. A bunch of Avalanche stars were all there. They all put on an awesome show. They signed a bunch of stuff. I saw all of them signing stuff constantly throughout the halls while the thing was going on. A bunch of people got to experience some of the best Avalanche hockey players of all time, even if, they are maybe over the hill a little bit in some cases, but still, it's a pretty cool thing that they put on. It's a cool event. Obviously, we had a great time. I got to talk to a ton of different people there. It was funny. I was there with Nick, one of our camera guys and social people, and even he came away from that event saying, you know what? I can say I got to see Peter Forsberg play now.
True.
Counts for something. I don't know.
True.
I
mean, that's one of those.
You
like,
forgot to mention
joys.
that Nick is like 12.
Yeah, he's like in his early 20s. It's
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the true joys of Avalanche 1.0 was like you don't know it, especially at our age. Like, you don't know that having a Joe Sakic or a Peter Forsberg on your team is like this weird
it's just
cosmic
how it is
event.
because you're young. Yeah.
Exactly. You're just like, oh yeah, I'm always gonna get to watch some top 30 skaters in NHL history play on my team. It's fine. And now, you fast forward to 2.0 and you're doing it again, and you're like, this might be the last time this actually happens. But of course, if you're the Pittsburgh Penguins, you just wait a generation and you're golden.
Yeah, but it's going to be the new Avs fans don't know yet. All right. We're going to get to 2035 and Cale Makar is going to retire. And then it's going to be like, oh God, rerun the late 2000s Avs.
I'm not ready, man. Just
there's long way away. We got a long way to go. All right. Makar not retiring anytime soon, but we did talk to someone who did just recently retire. I'm sorry, Tyson. I didn't mean to break this to the world. I thought it was already common knowledge that you were done, buddy. But I did get to talk to Tyson Barrie. It was a pretty good interview at the rink. So let's hear what he had to say at the alumni game. Man, the myth, the legend, Tyson Barrie. We'll get to the alumni stuff in a second, but I gotta ask, where did you learn to do that reverse hand thing on the blue line?
I don't know. I think that was just a mixture of maybe some desperation and necessity when I was younger, and I just found it worked. Stop it, and you could actually make better plays kind of doing that than off your backhand sometimes. So, yeah, interesting.
Just that skilled. You just got it in the bag, I guess.
Yeah, it's automatic.
Obviously, your career just wrapped up recently. What's it like to be on the other side and competing in alumni event stuff?
It's quick turnaround. I was unsure about my future, sort of, and it's cool. I mean, I'm so grateful for the career I've had and all the friends I've got to make and get to do stuff like this now. And yeah, but it is a quick turnaround. I didn't think I'd be putting my gear on for a while, so.
Hope you're in shape.
Something like that. Yeah, we'll see.
You were the original offensive defenseman behind Nathan MacKinnon in this era of the Avs. Can you just talk what it's playing defense behind a guy like that?
Yeah, it was a blast. I mean, me and Nate kind of cut our teeth together when we were young, and ended up having some pretty good success and some pretty good teams. So I've got really fond memories of playing here, and Nate's one of my best friends still. So he just dropped me off. So it was a pleasure playing with him. He made it easy on me. So very grateful for the time I got to spend here.
You've been around the league a little bit now. What's it like comparing some of the other cities you've played in to Denver?
Yeah, I mean, tough to compare cities, right? Denver's such a great spot, and it's got a special place in my heart. But I mean, I played in some great spots and played with great teammates, and they're all different and unique and good or bad in their own ways. And but I've always, Denver was home for me and kind of where I got my opportunity. So always relished a chance to come back.
Love to hear it, playing up the city a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go. A little bit from Tyson Barrie. Had a ton of other interviews. If you haven't watched the video, we'll have a couple more here in a second for you. But lots of fun ones. My favorite might have been Darren Helm, though. As I'm counting. We stole him from Detroit. It's over. He's a Colorado boy now. We got him.
I don't have my shirt on right now, but just a reminder that Detroit sucks.
Honestly, counting that.
We kind of stole Kyle Quincy too.
Yeah, not wrong. He was the original Detroit to Colorado guy. Yeah.
Yeah, like he had that little stop off in LA where he actually got good, but like he's another was in Detroit and is now in Colorado. Do we have any reverse of that being true? Are there any guys that were with the Avs and then went to the Red Wings and then stayed in Detroit and are in their retirement in Detroit hanging out?
I don't know.
Not a chance, dude.
Stayed. Yeah.
Not a chance. I refuse to believe that somebody was like, yeah, this is for me.
Well,
I'm just talking noise in Detroit.
Colorado's the place to be. I'll put it to you that way. And nothing but love for the city. They might have been a little biased given they were in Denver at the time I interviewed them, but they all seem super happy to be here. It's awesome to see. I think it makes a good point too. And we've talked about this on the show before, but players come here and realize how amazing the city is. And a lot of them do end up staying. I don't think Denver is ranked up there as a destination city, like a New York or a Miami or something like that. But when players come here, they realize how nice it is.
Yeah, they realize that the weather isn't what it's made out to be. Man, one thing about moving to New England, the perception of Colorado out here is so I have lived through a New England winter now. It sucks, dude. It sucks. Colorado winter is far superior. And when I have told people that I'm from Colorado, they're like, "Oh, tough winter out there." And I'm like, "No,
not really.
It's great. Are you for real? 50 degrees, sunny. The snow melts the next day. Get out of here with that." The perception of Colorado versus the reality is so different. In actual Colorado, you're there, you're chilling, rocks. The perception of it is that it's some snow-capped cow town that is still stuck in the 1800s. It boggles the mind. It boggles the mind.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I do like that we have 4 seasons fully as well. You get a little bit of everything here. Not to reminisce too much about Denver as a city, but AJ, I asked everyone at the event who still has it as one of the retirees. Turns out the answer was Andrew Cogliano by a lot. That guy looked good in an exhibition game. Andrew Cogliano looked like he could still play in the NHL. It's interesting who holds up and who doesn't. Obviously, you know, some of the guys are getting old, but some of those guys still have the skill. It's still in there.
I mean, Cogs is recently retired, but was also you know, he was one of the Iron Men of the NHL during his career. He never missed games. So it was, that's not surprising to me that just off retirement, that Cogs is still in great shape. He's still doing his thing. That's one of the reasons the Avs loved him as an organization and wanted to be part of the organization, as they were like, hey, we want you to be one of the development guys. Come hang.
Yeah. It's not a lot of players that try to return to the game when they have a broken neck. Put it to you that way. Cogs built a little bit different than everybody else.
What a freak.
All right. Do have a couple more interviews for you, but I do want to take our first break of the show first. So let's make sure we're getting our bills paid, and then we'll talk to some guys. Of course, we are brought to you by E&T Credit Union. They're the official banking partner of the Denver Broncos, and they even have a Broncos checking account that's built for fans like you guys. The thing is loaded with all kinds of perks that will get any Broncos fan fired up, or, anyone who just wants to get a little bit of extra money. Things like no surprise fees, no minimum balance requirements, and the money in your Broncos checking account even earns dividends. So it's already a great checking account, but then you layer on all of the fan perks. You can get 10% off food and gear on game day at Empower Field. You can get a Broncos branded debit card to rep the team, and the chance to win tickets to Broncos home games simply by paying with your Broncos checking debit card. Every 10 swipes enters you for another chance to win. So jump in. If you're ready to bank like a Bronco, go to ent.com/DNVR. That's ent.com/DNVR and sign up for Broncos checking today. ENT Credit Union is insured by NCUA. Membership required. APY account requires associated ENT Broncos debit card. Once you got yourself all set up, getting all that good bonus stuff, you're going to have a little bit of extra money that you're going to want to spend on your stomach with Raising Cane's. If you're heading out on your summer road trip, order at RaisingCane's.com or download the Raising Cane's app today to satisfy your chicken finger fix in a snap. Of course, you can always go in-store too, where you will find yourself some delicious hand-battered chicken fingers cooked to order every single day, every crinkle cut fry crispy and perfectly salted, and every piece of Texas toast perfectly buttered for you. And all of that gets dipped in the delicious Cane's sauce, made in restaurant every single day too, and ready to be dipped in. So if you're hungry yet, get your order in today at Cane's and keep the road trip going. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. See, there you go. Look at the Supporters Club stuff. You can get all of those emotes. You can get the Supporters Club badge, which I, again, think it's super cool. You get to be one of the members in the YouTube chat, which I don't know. I come from Twitch, so all of that stuff is the coolest part to me, where you're part of the squad. That's my favorite thing about it. But either way, jump in with that.
We've got people that hang out in here with us every single day, and it's like, this is for you guys. Like, this is exactly for you to like flex those muscles a little bit. Like, this is your community. We like built the landscape, but you guys are building the house. Like, that's, you guys get to show it off. The emotes are cool. I think the exclusive content will probably be my favorite part of it. Just because I'm excited to see what all the beats come up with for their.
You are a very slice of life content type of person too.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a compliment, but I'll take it. Yes. I'm curious, just from a creative standpoint. I'm so curious to see what they do.
Yeah. It's going to be a fun time, and a good way to support us.
We do.
Yeah, you tell me. We'll find out as we do it, I imagine.
I already know.
Okay, AJ's locked in on the extra content. He knows what's up. Did interview a couple of other guys. We'll save some of them, but one of the cooler ones, Adam Foote, we got to talk to, as well as Mark Rycroft a little bit at the event. So let's hear what they had to say about the current Avs and how they can get to that second cup. Avalanche alumni Adam Foote here. First of all, congratulations on the head coaching job in the NHL. What's it like from the bench boss side?
It's fun. I mean, I've been lucky enough to be on the bench with Rick Tocchet. He grabbed me there as an assistant in Vancouver and taught me a lot. And, I had a good couple of years with him. So, it'll be a little bit different as the head for sure. But I've got a good staff around me that we've put together, the management and I myself put together this summer. So we're pretty happy with that.
Awesome. You look at an event like this, the Avalanche Alumni, it's been built up quite a bit the last few years here. What's it like having this in Colorado?
I think it's awesome. I mean, the alumni is good for the fans and the people out there. We always have to give back if we get an opportunity to play pro hockey and play professional sports. But I think it's also good for the players as time goes by for them to get together. They miss the locker room, being around the guys and being around the fans, and they support each other and hear each other's stories. And it's fun to see the group get together. And time just passes so much that you almost wish we would do this more.
You were there for both Stanley Cups with the original Avs. What's it going to take for the current generation to get that second one?
Well, they're right there. I mean, they've got a good hockey club, obviously. They've been close. They've got pretty much a full group coming back, a bunch of veterans. So they should make a good push.
Fair enough. Transition to today's Avs. Are they ready? Is this the team that can go on a deep run this year?
I mean, we all know the answer to that. It's the biggest yes we've had since 22, and you're like, well, what's the reason? Second line center, solidified.
Yep.
Goaltending, solidified. Every player is healthy, except for Logan O'Connor, who's, I'm hearing, a November-ish, maybe December return table. The captain's back. There is not one negative thing coming into this season where you think, what do the Avs need? You got Brett Burns on the back end, who was still playing 18 minutes last year. There's the size on the back end you needed. And finally, for the first time since 22, this team just gets to grow together. You know, last year had 49 players. That's a lot.
All right. Guess we're cutting that one short, but go check out the Riker interview. Like I said, I think we interviewed 15 guys. Yeah, he nailed it. If the Avs aren't unbelievably injured, they're set up for success this year.
Can we just kind of like touch on this really quick?
Yeah, I wanted to. Yeah,
shooting the breeze a little bit today, but like I don't know, like 49 players. Okay, an opening night roster is 23 players.
Yep.
The Avs used 49 players last year.
That's an entire other team.
That is 2+ teams. Like, you're like, oh, you need an AHL team too. Great. You used one and then some. You used what? It was like 3 rosters worth of goaltenders?
Yeah, it was,
and
obviously six goaltenders played, yeah.
Yeah, six played, 7 dressed, right? With Mandolisi.
Yep.
Like, it's truly like a mind-boggling. Like, obviously, yes, they made many trades. What was it? I think it was 9 trades
in season 9
that they made, counting the Brandstrom deal that came during training camp. So, which look at us, we were the kiss of death last year. We
I guess everyone we talked to,
and they were like, get rid of them all.
DNVR
anyway.
talked to them.
Yeah, like those guys are all going to tell us no this year.
We already talked to Landy, so I think we probably breaking that streak. But
something else going to happen.
No, I refuse.
But like going into this year, like Rycroft is 100% correct on this. Like their goaltending is fine. They even have a third goaltender that you can get a little bit excited about with Trent Miner, who was really good in the AHL last year and showed okay in his and he was okay in his 2 NHL appearances. By the end of the year, they will have Ilya Nabokov as another option for the net in case something happens, and they love him. Like, they think he's going to be a starting goaltender in the NHL. Like, just full stop. I've talked to some people around the organization who are all like, yep, we think he's going to be a starter.
Right. Shout out Mikhail Guyev, scored 2 goals at forward in the preseason yesterday, so that was fun.
I was trying not to make too much of it because it was a preseason game and it was just
of course.
I don't care that
they were short forwards, so they just threw him up there. It's not a thing.
And then you see him score 2 goals and you're like,
well,
maybe they should just keep Sam Girard long term and play Guyev at forward. I mean, one of Guliyev's best attributes is his shot. So, and that skating plays. He's gonna be an elite skater no matter what. So,
yeah.
But anyway, the injuries, like they come in with 1 injury, the Logan O'Connor injury. We've talked about it already. We don't think it's gonna be as long term as we were initially afraid it might be when the news first dropped, where we were like, hey, December, January. Now it's I've heard it's really November, not even November, December, but it's always good to play it safe, especially with the Avs, who do tend to baby their injuries a little bit coming back. That's not a bad thing. I don't mean that in a negative connotation.
They can afford to.
They're just trying to like be safe with it and be like, hey, we don't want guys re-injuring things. So, you look at that and. We all know that there are going to be other things that crop up during the year. It's not like, oh, well, they're owed a completely healthy season. That's never going to happen. But it is really encouraging to get into like going into camp, not being like, it'll be great when this team is put together in mid-December.
not an uphill battle for the first 30 games of the season, plus whatever injuries get tacked on.
And Logan O'Connor is important, but let's be real here. He's a fourth line player. He plays fourth line for the Avalanche.
Compared to starting the season with Nichushkin, Lehkonen, Landeskog out. Sorry, LOC.
3 of those guys. At the moment, half of their top 6 was unavailable to them last year.
Yeah. Very, very different scenarios. And I do think, look, obviously, at the end of the day, playoffs are what matter for this team. This team is in win now mode. They're trying to win Stanley Cups, but it gets overlooked. I think this team deserves a lot of credit for the regular seasons they've had over the last 3 years. When you talk about the injuries this team has battled against over that time, their regular season performances are pretty outrageously good, especially when you compare to other teams around the league, where you watch a team like Vancouver that really wasn't even all that injured last year, and they imploded down the stretch to miss the playoffs entirely. The Avs don't do that. They just keep on marching. And, you know, maybe you feel like, oh, if they were healthy, they could have won the division or whatever in home ice. And we'll talk about that more in a little bit here. But there was really never any doubt this team was going to make the playoffs. They had the worst goaltending in the NHL. And everyone was like, yeah, they're still probably a wild card team, even with an 870 goaltender and a bunch of injuries.
They were 13-12 while giving up an average of 3.72 goals per game.
Because they're just that
with
good.
With a like depleted, obliterated roster. And like granted, the stars were there.
Of course.
McKinnon, Makar, Taves, like those Rantanen, those guys were there. But as anybody will tell you, like, you need more than that to win in the NHL. On any given night, those guys can win you a game. Absolutely accurate. Totally true. But I mean, come on. That was all they had. Like, you go through those game logs and you look at some of the guys that were playing for you, not just playing, but big minutes. Guys that aren't even going to be in the league this year. It's really, I think this is an area where we underrate Jared Bednar. Because we kind of, it's like, oh, well, you have Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar. Like, you should be beating 15 teams on the regular, even with a decimated lineup. If those guys are healthy, you should be winning. They're the best in the world. And, like, fair enough. But also multiple years of a head coach that has kind of danced between the raindrops and found success in the regular season. I mean, we're talking 3 straight 100-point seasons for a team that has paid $7 million to Gabe Landeskog and gotten 0 games in that time.
2 of those 3 years were truly destroyed by injuries at times during seasons.
Game the title defense year 22-23, and last year they had no injury luck whatsoever. They were awful. They were like waiver guys, you know, like Dennis Malgins of the world.
Dryden playing in the top 6.
You know, like those types of guys are playing. Like Keaton Middleton played 41 games for you last year, and we're talking about Keaton Middleton's going to be in a roster battle. We haven't penciled into the lineup because he's the organization's afraid that if they put him on waivers, they'll lose him. So like he's your 7 right now, but you don't ever want your 7th D to play 41 games. Ever.
It's true. Ideally he plays 0 in a perfect world, but that's not realistic. Really quickly, shout out to Azray becoming a member, always in the chat, always hanging out with us. Honestly, if we get enough emotes, smash the like dork should be an emote for us, to be honest. One of the many, hopefully, we have soon. And, you know, Bobby Valentine also becoming a member. Shout out to Bobby. Appreciate y'all. Y'all are awesome.
Love that. I love that name. Bobby Valentine is so funny.
You have to try to sneak back into the dugout with a fake mustache on, though. That's
right. An all-time funny moment in baseball. Also, I wear my Connecticut Sun hat on a like semi-regular basis. Go Sun. They're terrible this year, but love the Sun.
Better hat than your Ferrari hat, all right?
I can't find that one, which seems pretty appropriate.
Yeah.
It seems pretty appropriate.
Worked out. Anyway, look, We are an Avs podcast. I don't feel like we're being that homer. I think we're like just realistically looking at what the Avs have done in regular seasons in context, and it's pretty good work. Obviously, they can be better. I think expectations are they will be better this regular season, but there is some injury context and otherwise that does matter to them. We do need to take our second break of the show here, so let's do that, and then we'll dive into that OT conversation. Of course, we are brought to you by the fantastic folks over at Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR, and, they sponsor our Toyota chat, so that's all of you in the chat. We appreciate all y'all in there. If you need a new car, make sure you're checking out your Toyota dealerships. You can jump in and find a vehicle no matter what you need, whether it's a truck, an SUV, or a sedan, or anything in between. Toyota has it all, including 17 different vehicles with all-wheel or four-wheel drive. So we were talking about that Colorado weather. You can be fine. You don't have to worry about it with all-wheel drive on the roads or off-roading. Toyota will make sure you get where you're going. And then, even better, you save a bunch of money with their 16 different hybrid or low emission vehicles. It's more than any other automaker out there. They've got options for you. They even have hybrid trucks like the Tundra iForce Max. So jump in with Toyota today. Visit your local Front Range Toyota dealerships and get yourself into one at AutoNation Toyota Arapahoe and Centennial, Corbin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Again, Toyota, the official vehicle of us here at DNVR and the official vehicle of the Colorado Avalanche. Once you got yourself in a Toyota and you can get where you're wanting to go, once you get home, that's when it's time to choose chill and pick yourself up an ice cold Coors Light. Coors Light has the mountains on the can that turn blue when they're ice cold and are ready to drink. Of course, you can choose chill when you're out in the backyard grilling. Maybe it's a snowstorm and you want to build one of those refrigerators on your deck with snow that you can stick Coors Light in. Whatever the moment, it's a great time to choose chill with Coors Light. Or, look, I know we're an Avs pod, but Bo Nix Chiller, next emote. Come on. We can with easy W's right here with Coors Light. All right. It's not hard to do. You can find Coors Light in pretty much every liquor store in the country, but if you want it delivered right to your front door, you can get that with CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Thanks to Instacart. You don't even have to get up off your couch to choose chill and get yourself some cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged Coors Light with a smooth finish. So jump in today, make the most out of the times you choose chill, and head on over to CoorsLight.com/DNVR to get it delivered to your front door. That's CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Please drink responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. As we get into the OT conversation, I did want to start with this early in the show. A couple of chats we were getting. Yeah, I think most fans would not mind the NHL going to the international 3-point system, right? But also the NHL is just never going to do that because they love the false parity that OT points give them. And it makes the regular season races significantly closer. From an entertainment perspective, the NHL prefers the system they currently use.
I think natural stat trick. I don't know. One of the nerdy stat sites. Yeah, actually does track this to see what would they look like, and frankly, the standings have not changed much. There are very few years in which there are drastic changes in the ordering of the standings. It's like a minor, like a team goes here, team goes there. Like it's not a big deal. I would prefer it. It just makes more sense to me, but also like there's that reality. Now, would the games get played a little bit differently because?
Yes.
3 points could be had. So the two teams having that like gentleman's agreement of like, hey, let's not go crazy in the last 2 minutes of this game here in regulation. We'll both get a point and get out of here. Like, and a team that really needs the points can just straight up go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there would be some of that, but we're talking very situational, very, very small. So, I don't think it would make a huge difference. Statistically, it's been shown that it wouldn't make a huge difference, but it just makes more sense to me. And, it just, I guess that's my greatest argument. It makes more sense to me.
I don't disagree. The team should be rewarded for winning in regulation. Like, they just aren't.
Yeah.
Because the NHL loves the drama of everyone's within 4 points of each other in the last 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, like you're telling me that you get the number in the regulation win column. How often has this played a role? Like how often has the regulation win versus the row win
Yeah.
versus just regular, like just wins. How
Plain
often
wins,
has
yeah.
this actually come into play? It's pretty hard for two teams to be at the exact same standings number after 82 games. All the different ways that you get there at the end of the year. Like it's for me, it's not enough of a reward for it to be like, oh well, it's the first tiebreaker. Like, stop, girl, stop.
Let me tangent on this for a second. Should we abandon all this tiebreaker stuff and just adopt the MLB game 163 style? Should there be a game 83 in the NHL for ties?
Yes, yes, absolutely yes. Now you need to have the tiebreakers for non-playoff teams. I do not want to watch like back in the day. Remember
Game 83
Adam
for the number 1 overall draft pick.
Yeah, exactly. Like, do you remember? Adam Foote's last game was like it could have been important because Colorado and Edmonton were jockeying for position. Like, there have been times where it has come into play. Somebody in chat, Max in chat, is mentioning game 82, Colorado St. Louis. Definitely. Thank you, Duncan Keith, for that last second goal.
Well, it's a great moment too. Like, that's why I want more of that type of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And that rocked, but the like winner take all feeling of it, game 83 would provide that. Now, of course, you give this 2 years and game 83 turns into game 85 because for some reason we need a longer schedule, but whatever. No, I'm fully with you. Not when it comes to a playoff spot. I guess you just can't like apply a tiebreaker like that to be like, well, we don't care about these guys. But for a playoff game, it would be way more fun for it to be a game 83, the winning you're in.
Yeah, I always have no problem with it too, because a lot of the counter argument I hear is like, well, it's an extra game, it's too many games. Blah, blah, blah. Win one more, and then you don't have to play the extra game. Easy, done.
Yeah.
I know I've asked you this before, but let me compare. Let me take another angle on this. Game 83 or a play-in round?
I've thought about this a lot because I watch the NBA and I think I think the play-in round is pretty hype.
Yeah.
I think it's fun and it's interesting and it does make that jockeying for position at the bottom of the standings really important too, because you don't want to be in the 7th seed. You want to get to the 6th seed so that you're just chilling. And I also really like the extra few days of rest that it gives the teams that make the top 6 seeds. I really like that. I think that's a really nice little reward for them. I really wouldn't have a huge problem with the play-in round. I think it's made for great drama in both baseball and basketball. I'm pretty into it, honestly. I think it's a lot of fun. I would structure it the way that basketball does, with like if you're the 9th or the 10th seed, like you have to like win. You have to keep
multiple
winning.
steps.
Yeah. But I think that's fun. I think that's a good time. I would be all about it.
Something has to be coming eventually, right? As the NHL continues to expand, the next expansion team will mean less than half the league makes the playoffs for the first time in modern NHL history. So
yeah,
it does feel like there might need to be something there.
Yeah, and I think just like an extending it out to that type of play-in round where it's just the extra 2 teams and they're playing each other. It's not like none of the teams at the top are in danger of this. To me, I guess it adds intrigue. It adds an extra level of drama, and I really do like the rest factor for the top 6 teams, where they're already going to get those 3 or 4 days off, but now they get an extra 3 or 4 days off of rest while the play-in round
proper
plays out.
week off. Yeah.
I like it a lot. Would I wait for there to be another round of expansion, 34 teams?
Maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel strongly about it. Like it has to be part of it. I really love the system that the NHL has outside of its seeding. Like I obviously have
Fair
issue
enough.
1 through 8.
Yeah.
And that's going to be, I think, a big problem for it. Is this is just the wild card teams. Like being top 3 in your division then becomes like crucial, and it's not even like the top 6 teams in the conference. I don't know. That
Now you're
probably is a
talking about an
barrier for
entire
him.
restructure, and it gets tough.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, man. And you know that Gary Bettman doesn't want to do that. He loves
Yeah.
the system.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, everybody loves it. This isn't even on the table. We're not even having this conversation. So, for some reason, you and I are.
Yeah. I think more than just you and I are having it, but it is what it is. Who knows?
True.
Gary Bettman probably doesn't have that many more years left as commish, but I know Bill Daly is often in the same vein of thought as him, so who knows? Anyway, the actual topic of today was talking about overtime, more specifically Avalanche overtime. We've spent the majority of this era of the Avs looking at a team that on paper should be really good at 3-on-3, and in practice is anywhere from just okay to downright terrible at 3-on-3 in actual results. And then last year, they go 9-4 in overtime and shootouts. A marked improvement for this team in the extra frame. They didn't go to a ton of shootouts last year, really, but still. The Avs have somehow
really done a lot of shootouts in recent years. The Avs really haven't done very many of them.
A lot of OT finishes if it gets that far. It's a good point. I wanted to dive into this a little bit. You know, we had long talked about how bad McKinnon and Rantanen were in practice in 3-on-3. Rantanen's gone now. Part of this is going to be the coaching conversation. We've seen significant strides over the last couple of years of the same thing that happened to 4-on-4 OT, right? Where you coach as much of the randomness out of it as possible. What was the turning point for Colorado in overtime? What has made them better at it? Or was this last year just a fluke?
No, I think it starts with Nathan McKinnon because he was the culprit in so many of their losses.
Yeah.
For those, there's a distinct line in the sand that was the COVID year, and that before that season, the Avs were terrible in overtime, specifically with Nathan McKinnon on the ice. They were not good at it. When Rantanen and McKinnon were on the ice, they got outshot 14-8, and they got outscored 5-2 in the 3 years leading up to that. So that's 2017-18 through 2019-2020. Okay. And then in the 3 years after that, 2021-22 to this most recent season, it was they shot. I still don't believe this. 1-1.
Wild.
Yeah, they were rarely winning games. But they also weren't losing them with those two guys on the ice. So that was the big turning point with the COVID season where they didn't really do much of it. Nathan McKinnon went from, in his career, Nathan McKinnon, in case anybody was curious, 19 goals for, 20 goals against in his career at 3v3. So he's a -1 in his career. But over the last 3 seasons, with him on the ice, 10 goals for, 4 goals against.
Genuinely good. Yeah.
Yeah. And a big part of that is that they split up Rantanen and McKinnon and started playing Val Nichushkin and Jonathan Drouin with Nathan McKinnon a lot more often. Now, one thing is true. Cale Makar and Nathan McKinnon out there together all the time. They are out there constantly in 3v3. That it does not matter which era you adjust for, which years you adjust for. Since Cale Makar joined the team, he's out there. So you look at that difference, and for the record, over the last 3 seasons, McKinnon, Makar, when they're out there, 5 goals for, 3 goals against. So decent. But the big change, the big change has been moving Rantanen away from him away from McKinnon, and now moved him very far away. They moved him to the East Coast. Found his way back into our lives. Great. And I think it opens the door for, it's got to be Nichushkin that is like your number one guy that starts with them. Although it is very fair to say Gabe Landeskog rules. Like this
True.
guy could be really, really good with alongside McKinnon in 3v3. But I think there's enough success with McKinnon and Nichushkin. Okay, again, since they got put together over the last 3 seasons, 1803 played together, time on ice. Shots on goal are 12-4 in favor of the Avalanche. Goals are only 1-0. So it has not been overwhelming, but scoring chances are 17-5. So they're doing a lot of work together. And
yeah, it makes sense. Nichushkin archetypally should be a plus modern 3-on-3 player where you see organizations commit to circling back, not really pushing the offense in the way that they used to, and making puck possession so important. I know Nichushkin's defensive numbers have fallen off a little bit this last year, but still, when you put a player with his ability on the defensive side as a forward out there, it helps negate a lot of the, oh, you lost the faceoff, you've lost overtime. That doesn't happen
Definitely.
nearly as much anymore.
Yeah, and it would be great if McKinnon's end of season improvement in faceoffs continued.
Yeah.
And it made him a more viable face-off guy going into overtime where you're like, okay, well, we're probably going to lose this, but we're going to put him with a puck hunter and Nichushkin, who's just going to be a heat-seeking missile and pressure a guy into a mistake or just straight up take it from him. Like, just winning the face-off would be awesome.
Yep.
Just do that, Nate. So, yeah, like, I think that's the approach, but you look at this Avalanche roster, and I'm going to make an argument that Arturi Lehkonen is going to be like my 6th guy, my 6th forward that I'm putting out on the ice. Now it's situational because I'm starting with Nathan McKinnon, Val Nichushkin, and Cale Makar. Those 3 guys.
That's
right?
an easy starter.
I want those. Yeah. There is an argument to be made, okay? I'm just going to give you some quick numbers for Devon Taves being with Nathan McKinnon.
I was going to mention, they signed him after the COVID year, and wouldn't you know, there's a big turn in their overtime ability.
There's also a huge advantage with those guys on the ice. 19 minutes and 27 seconds of 3v3 time together, McKinnon and Taves. All right. Shots on goal are 18-8. Goals are 4-1. The expected goals are very high. Scoring chances are 21-10. And high danger chances are 11-2. He has more high danger chances with Devon Taves than with Cale Makar. And that is in just under half the time that he has played.
Pretty effective hockey, yeah.
Right. And so I think the argument to be made is Taves, McKinnon, Nichushkin could be your top unit. Your second unit, Nelson, Marty Necas, Cale Makar. Now,
I'm down. I'm sold.
Marty Necas. This is an important part of this conversation because Marty Necas and Nathan McKinnon did not play very much together. They only played 155 of 3v3 time together last season. Shots on goal were 0-3. I'm sorry, shot attempts were 0-3. Shots on goal were 0-1. No goals. But did not play much and did nothing with it. Now, we talk about there's a good argument, like a very cogent argument for splitting up Necas and McKinnon, that they are too redundant at 5v5. I'm not really with it to start the year. I would prefer for them to be together. At 3v3, hell no, sir. Put them on different units.
Redundance is a lot more apparent when there's only one other guy out there.
Exactly. And them being elite through the neutral zone, carrying the puck with that going into turning into a zone entry, like that is such a special skill, and it gets amplified at 3v3 that I want them broken apart. But Marty Necas is also awesome at 3v3 throughout his career, where in Carolina, now in Colorado, 5 games he was with them. They played in overtime. He only played 446 of ice time, shot attempts were 1-6, so it didn't go great for him. Now,
Sure.
no goals either way, so they didn't win or lose with Marty Necas out there. But with Carolina in his career, 21 goals for, only 9 goals against at 3v3. Like, that's, I keep saying at 3v3 like people don't understand, but
his numbers
Marty
are what we
Necas
thought
is,
Nathan McKinnon's were supposed to
yes,
look like at 3-on-3.
Marty
Like-
Necas has been an unbelievable overtime player for the Hurricanes. If he can translate that into Colorado, and especially in Colorado, not against the guys that the opposing teams are putting out there first. And
Get
I
that
put Brock
second
Nelson
unit,
out there. I'm this is an important distinction. If it's for a face-off, I'm starting with Brock Nelson or Jack Drury because I want to win the face-off.
I wanted you do the Jack Drury goes out there, takes a face-off. If you win it, he jumps off thing, right? Like,
now, where's the face-off? If it's in the offensive zone, you win the face-off. I don't know that I want Jack Drury out there, or you're winning the face-off, you're getting puck possession, and you're immediately leaving the zone while Jack Drury changes. Now, that instead of doing all that, Brock Nelson. You just put Brock Nelson on the ice.
For the ozone face-off.
So, yeah, and now if you're changing on the fly, Landeskog Necas is what I would do. With probably Cale Makar, Devon Toews, depending on what you're doing with that top unit. I've made my argument, but
assuming Landy is right back in the groove, perfectly comfortable with him being the defensive acumen forward for sure.
Yeah. And that unfortunately leaves your worst skating guy in your top 6 is Arturi Lehkonen. That's really all. That's why he's also like your least like naturally gifted.
I would agree.
Like he's the guy that scores a lot of your junk goals. He does a lot of that dirty work.
Hard
a lot
to
of
be
that
the
goes
net
away
guy
in
3-on-3. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of that goes away at 3v3. So like he's probably your least valuable in that situation. So I would probably even lean towards like a Logan O'Connor, Jack Drury going out there if you're really getting down into
Calm
it.
down.
But you really don't need to get that far into it. Like it's 3v, like those guys all have minute-long shifts. Like
Bednar is absolutely writing this down for the record.
Oh, I know he listens.
He can't wait to play LOC in 3-on-3 again.
Totally. Wow, you look at what he did. What was it, the Rangers game? Where he just outworked 3 guys.
Just cooked them.
Yeah, and was like, oh, I'm dancing around guys. I'm winning puck battles. I'm muscling up. Like, he was like, I got this. Don't even play, guys. I got this. Don't worry about it. And then they score that goal, and Nathan McKinnon, like, immediately is pointing to LOC, and he's like, you did it. And it was like, yeah, why don't you do that more often, Nate? So, anyway, like, that's where I think they can, at 3v3, look, they broke up the problem children of Mikko and Nate. They were already doing it. Now they are like broken up. Don't tell me they were at the wedding together. Get out of here with that. They are broken up. All right. That is in the past.
Yeah, it's realistically, the Avs should be a good team in 3-on-3 OT again this year. We've had this conversation before. On paper doesn't always translate to on the ice, but the Avs should be set up, especially in the modern era again, where a lot of the nonsense has been coached out of 3-on-3 and puck possession is highly required, wanted, whatever you want to call it. I do think it is worth noting that in 3-on-3, I do think the Avs strike a good balance. They are willing to go for it eventually. You see some of these teams in 3-on-3 just circle indefinitely unless they get the absolute perfect opportunity. It can be frustrating sometimes, but eventually Nathan McKinnon will say, screw it, I'm going to the net and shooting the puck. It helps you win when you actually try to score.
It really does. And like, again, their numbers over the last couple of years with McKinnon have gotten a lot better. So I think that some of it has calmed down, but also it is a coaching staff's job to protect the players from the worst versions of themselves. And 3-on-3 has brought out a lot of that from McKinnon.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you love what McKinnon does when he has the puck, because every time he has it, every other player on the opposing team is going, no, 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 no. And then he'll do something dumb and it'll start a break away the other direction, or he gets caught puck watching and the guy's 20 feet ahead of him. And it's like not even Nathan McKinnon is that fast, and then you lose the game, and you're like, oh well, that was
Unfortunate.
Yeah. That's a standings point lit on fire.
Yep, it happens. It's gonna happen. Even even the best 3-on-3 teams, there's enough unpredictability there that nonsense happens. Did want to talk about the shootout briefly. I know I'm not a big fan of it, but when you look at the Avs' current lineup, shootout shooters, looking strictly at the numbers, if you ignore small sample size, the best Avs shootout players are Val Nichushkin and Ross Colton.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know what I would just don't get into shootouts, please. Mackenzie Blackwood sucks at them.
He's bad at shootouts.
Don't get into it, dude. The one time they won it last year with Blackwood and net, we were all like, "Oh my god, pigs fly, unicorns are real." It was it was a once in a generation event. So I'm not trying to mess with that again.
All right.
Yeah.
Actually, let me look up. I didn't look up if Victor Olofsson is any good in the shootout. Let me see.
I would bet not, because he's more of a shooter than like Natchez is a guy who's so good with the puck that he can do whatever he wants to a goaltender and put the puck wherever. Olofsson's like, can I have somebody pass me the puck for a one-timer? That's where he's such a special shooter.
Not horrible. He's 4 for 14 in his career, so not like a disaster,
okay,
but not great. Yeah.
Yeah, I would start this year with McKinnon and Landeskog just as like a comfort thing.
Sure.
Landy was okay at it. I don't actually know his numbers, but I know that he used to be part of the trio. But like after that, yeah, Nichushkin's as good a guess as any. Nichushkin, Nelson, Colton, sure, that's fine.
Landeskog is 6 for 20 in his career.
So a little stinky.
Yeah, not horrible. Nichushkin 3 for 6. Colton 5 for 10. And then
all right, you're talking me into this. I mean, 5 for 10 is better than I expected. So Colton, sure.
After that, Lehkonen technically 1 for 3, and then you have McKinnon 15 for 47.
Not great.
But he's the next bet. He's better than Landy. I'll put it to you that way.
Yeah. I mean, he has to be part of it.
After that, the drop up is pretty steep after that. You have Landy right at 30%. Next is Nelson, 8 for 31. So not awesome.
So reinforcing, don't get into shootouts. Your goaltender's not good at it, and your shooter's not really what they do.
Yeah.
Win it in 3v3.
For the record, Natchez 2 for 11. Bad.
Can't blame the Carolina system on that one. All right,
Nope.
Never mind. I would have thought Natchez was better than that, but okay. All right, I see.
Yeah. Just play real hockey instead. Win it playing real hockey. Problem solved. No shootouts. All good.
Yes, regulation wins. All right, no, just win 52 games in regulation.
Easy. I don't know. Someone could never, but the Avs absolutely could. It's, again, I know this is a weird topic. I know some people are going to say, well, they lost the overtime games in the playoffs. And yeah, true. They did not close in those playoff games at all. But points.
No getting around it.
Yeah, points in overtime, points in the regular season. Those extra points can be the difference between, hey, maybe you're playing Dallas in round 1, or maybe you get to play Calgary in round 1. That's kind of, I know a lot of people want to play Dallas again, want to finally win that, but sometimes you got to avoid it. At least play them in the conference finals or something different.
Yeah, I mean, you got to admit that at the moment they're your daddy, and you just got to stay away from it.
Yep.
Just
if
stay
you
away
face
from
them,
it, dude.
Great, go beat them and change the narrative. But, maybe set yourself up a little better.
You could always do the Red Sox-Yankees thing, where it's like they just cannot break through, and then they finally break through in epic fashion, and then win a championship, and then they stunt on those hoes forever.
And then they become the new Yankees across the league, and I hate it. But that's all right. I don't know. I do think it was something worth talking about because it does matter in the standings.
Definitely.
And it does matter to your season. So I wanted to get it in here.
Well, and how different do you feel about their ability in a 3v3 right now with like a healthy top 6?
Yeah.
Apparently a healthy top 9. Ross Colton, jeesh. In a 3v3 / shootout, you feel so much better than like Nikolai Kovalenko and Ivan and having to play McKinnon for 4 out of the 5 minutes in 3v3 because you're like, we don't have any depth.
Yep.
Like, we're not putting Casey Middlestat out there when Casey Middlestat can't play, you know? Like, it's just such a different, you're in such a different world right now.
Health,
you feel so much better about it.
Both health and the way you're built as we're headed into our own overtime period here. The conversation continues online at thednvr.com. Colorado is set up well for overtime on paper. You went through all the numbers. Obviously, they look pretty good on the whole. Is it reasonable to expect that they have a good season when it comes to the overtime they get into based on all of this, or are we talking about a paper tiger again?
No, I think this is an area where you look at Jared Bednar and you say you have the information. You have years worth of information. Now, granted, it's all small sample size. Like all of this, we're talking about
20
Nathan
minutes
McKinnon
max.
Yeah, like Nathan McKinnon's played like 18 minutes of overtime. Like Marty Necas has never played more than 19 minutes of overtime of 3-on-3 in his career.
Yeah.
In a single season. So like very small samples here, but really important samples. And it's like, okay, you've had some success. McKinnon has been good with both Makar and Taves. Like you have the information is what I'm saying. Now it's on Jared Bednar to go out and use that information in a way that actually makes sense. This is one of those things that we can easily point to and say, what are you doing? Like we did with when Logan O'Connor was on the ice against the Rangers in overtime last year. We were like, excuse? And then he does something awesome. And we were like, okay, well, I mean.
So when in the first OT, when he rolls out Nelson and McKinnon together and we just have confused looks on our faces.
P.S. They do have a little bit of time together. They have 4 minutes together in overtime, and they did score a goal, but it wasn't. Their process overall wasn't great. It was only 4-3 in shots on goal. It was 4-5 in shot attempts. So we're not talking about overwhelming success.
Yep, it's overtime can be fickle. Certainly, not ready for that conversation.
That was such a funny response.
We are wrapping up today's show, but it should be a fun week. Of course, we're live 5 days a week all the time. Do think later in the week we'll get into some position comparisons around the Central Division. So if you want to see how the teams stack up now that the offseason is mostly over, should be an interesting one. We can do some comparisons and talk about why everyone in the chat thinks Winnipeg is going to suck this year. So should be fun.
This sounds like my favorite show.
There we go. Now we're talking. We are done for today, though. We appreciate everyone hanging out. Again, consider becoming part of the Supporters Club. Bunch of you signed up today. Ezra even upgraded their account, so that's awesome. Hank also signed up for an account because why not? I guess I got to go sign up for one now, too, on the Broncos show to even it out.
Yeah. DNVR supporting DNVR.
We appreciate y'all, and we will talk to you tomorrow. This has been the DNVR Avalanche podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.